So when we talk about SRM, what do we mean? So sustainable resource management is basically just another term for reducing, reusing, recycling, and composting or rotting in order to achieve zero waste. And Rick's presentation was on zero waste, but when we think of zero waste, a lot of the emphasis over the years has really been on the recycle piece of it. We think that recycling is the means to achieve zero waste, but the fact is there's a hierarchy, and true zero waste is going to be achieved first and foremost through reducing our waste, reducing the inputs of toxins, reducing the consumption of resources. So reduces is most important. Then we want to reuse and reutilize and donate and do all those things that we can with the products that we've made to the highest value of that product before we ultimately recycle and or compost it. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. But how is waste or garbage created? So when we're talking about sustainable resource management, we're talking about a system where things that we throw away or don't need anymore don't really have to become garbage or waste, but that they would be feedstocks to other cycles. And so we know that in nature, the waste from one organism or one process doesn't become waste, but it becomes food or fuel for another organism or process. And in our modern society, it doesn't work that way. So we can't just take our coffee cup, throw it out the window, and expect that it's naturally going to become a fuel in our system. It becomes pollution. So sustainable resource management is to build a system where we can capture that coffee cup or whatever that product is and move it through a system that's sustainable and similar to nature. And just a few examples. So, this might be an example of recycling. Metal, you collect metal cans or scrap metal, it goes through smelting process, you can make new metal products out of it. You can repair products. You can pick up a bike at a garage sale and you can repair it and you can retain the value of that bike. Or even food. Oftentimes we think of food as, not having a value, but in nature and in our soil, it has a great value. So sustainable resource management is a system that prioritizes the value of products by reusing or recycling them rather than disposing of them, and it eliminates wasteful products and practices before they become waste. All right, so we're going to get everybody involved a little bit, and in this one, you could just type A, B, C, or D into your chat box. But I'm just wondering if people want to take a guess at what is a historical driving factor in the creation of waste and the need for policies to manage them. So historically speaking, was it because we had too many products? Was it because we didn't have enough landfill space? Was it because there were large numbers of people moving more densely in small towns and communities? Or was it because we had poor management of agricultural waste? So just go ahead and put some responses in the chat box. I'm not seeing anything yet. Oh, there we go. So somebody said D, we've got a C. Just throw some answers out there. D, a couple more, A, C, A. All right, cool. Well, when we start to think back in history, we think about industrialization, and as part of industrialization, we had many, many people coming together. We didn't have a lot of products at that time. Landfills weren't really in existence. I mean, there's some historical aspects of managing waste. Agricultural waste had a tendency to manage themselves. But what we saw as industrialization started to happen is that more and more people came to live in cities. And as a result, we had poor sanitary conditions. And the old way of dealing with waste, kind of throwing it out the back door and an animal would come take it or the soil would absorb it, really didn't work. And so what we found